Hi, Mark here from the Tangibound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangibound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangibound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangiboundNetwork.com and see if Tangibound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net's Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Hey guys, this is Venice, and I've got a message from a friend of mine about my favorite podcast.
It's your boy, Flavor Flav in full effect. Check this out, everybody. I want y'all to go check out TJ.
What's good, everybody? TJ Johnson here for Voice from the Underground. I am the most handsome.
Big Has.
And I'm smoking my cigar, of course.
You know what I'm saying? The Dutch.
You pick me up in an Uber and a PT Cruiser, I'm calling Lyft.
Cause they be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying?
And we're not even that good.
Right, we're terrible. Terrible. Tangents all over the place.
And not only that, but they be keeping it fun with the sports, music, comics, and movies too.
Am I allowed to talk?
I think, no, not right now.
Shut up, colonizer!
You know what I'm saying? He on Twitter at VFU Podcast. So you can find them. So check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy.
Okay, what Flav was trying to say is, check out Voice from the Underground on your favorite podcast network.
Voice from the Underground.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swaps it with Earl so it glistens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. The boys will let you know when there's a due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 425.
Sexiest podcast on the network. How are you, Brian?
Okay. How are you? Coming in with coming in with that strong energy, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
well, before the old whatever recording button got hit. I mean, you were talking about how you've been like meh all weekend.
Yeah, that's true. It's not been a great weekend for me.
Right.
So, yeah. But oddly enough, I felt like hot garbage for a couple days here, basically.
Right.
Like it's weird. I go through these patches where I feel like everything that my body can do to completely, it's like, let's, it's like resetting the circuit breaker, and everything comes back on. I'm just getting all these like surges, and it's like everything that I deal with seems to be kind of punching me right in the face at one time, which is fun,
Yeah, for sure.
But whatever. I mean, it's, after dealing with shit for a while, it sucks, but you're just like, yeah, and you get to this too shall pass part of life, essentially, because, it sucks for a little bit, but it'll be fine in a week or a couple days or whatever. But
right.
It doesn't stop you from, like, that first day of just basically wanting to throw yourself on the ground and kick and scream, and all right, I'm good now.
And that's kind of fun.
Yeah, but yeah. So, yeah, good times. But whatever.
Right.
I mean, it's on the upside though. I've gotten some really good sleep the last couple of nights.
Really?
Yeah. So my body, everything seemed to like flare up except my insomnia. That seemed to be like, I'm going to take, like, these guys got this. I'm going to take a couple days off.
I guess it's just like, it's got to give you a win somewhere.
Right, yeah. It's like, all right, It's like they sat down at the oh shit, I can't think of the name of it. Like the Legion of Doom's hideout or whatever, and
right.
All the bad guys are sitting there and they're like, okay, who needs a week off? Like,
I mean, it's fair.
Yeah. Insomnia is like, actually, like, I was thinking of, going to the beach for a couple days, and, depression and migraine are like, nah, we got you, bro. We got you.
Yeah. Oh, you thought you were going to, huh?
Yeah. You go ahead. We'll cover this. So, whatever, on the downside, it's made me, of course, feel like not going anywhere or doing anything. So that's always fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, is it though?
No, not at all.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, I did somehow force myself to play some Borderlands 3 the other night. So
I mean,
yeah,
sometimes you gotta, make sacrifices.
Right. Well, the reason I did was actually because I got an email from them that was like, hey, log in and get all your pre-order bonuses, because if you don't by the 27th, they go away, basically, which is stupid, because it's like, you use a gimmick to get me to pre-order. I feel like that should just be there. Like, I don't feel like you should have to redeem it by a certain date, but whatever. So I was like, well, I don't remember. Like, I'm looking at the stuff, and I'm like, well, you're supposed to get, like, gold skins for and I was like, oh, I think that's just the edition I bought. You get like gold skins for your guns and some other stuff, but I'm like, well, you're supposed to get like an EchoCast skin and different stuff as the part of the pre-order thing, and I'm like, I don't remember having one. Then when I started the game and started playing, I was like, oh yeah, I just didn't like that one. I like the one that has the little like radioactive skull on it instead.
I mean,
yeah.
If I'm choosing radioactive skull
right?
every time.
Yeah, well, I think it's because I'm using Flack, the Beastmaster guy, because he has a skin that is pretty cool. It's like all his coats and stuff are like kind of dark, and then there's like a radioactive, almost like skeleton-looking thing on it, which is kind of cool. So that's the one I've been using.
Like my kids' glow-in-the-dark pajamas.
Yeah,
basically. Were from like 15 years ago or whatever.
Right, dude. All I can think of when you mentioned that was Leah that time. Oh no, it's a spooky skeleton.
You're right.
Hey Leah, want to be on the podcast? Fuck you.
Well, I mean, that is in our promo.
It is. It was so good.
It was so good it made the promo.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But yeah, it's funny. As I'm playing Borderlands, like, I'm enjoying it. It's fun, all that whatnot. But it's weird to me how like I feel anxious playing a first person, like a one player shooter kind of a situation. Like if you and I were playing, I wouldn't feel anxious.
Is it just because it's you against everybody?
Yeah, I think that's really what it is. Because, I mean, that essentially is what it is. I mean, that's part of why I picked Flack, was because, he's got I have a pet Skag right now, so, who's such a good boy and goes out and kills things for me, so.
The goodest of boys.
Well, it's cool, because in his, like, tree, you can actually, you level up the thing, so it has a better chance of crit and different stuff. And his, like, action thing, for the one I picked, is he creates like it's like this vortex thing. I think that like his animal, like his pet jumps out from it basically, and the thing grows exponentially. So it gets stronger and stronger. Yeah. And it's, so when there's like a group of things coming at me, I'll just bust that out and,
Please tell me they called it Skagnado.
No. Oh my God, that would be great if they had one.
Missed out.
Oh my God, that would be great. But I was just reading about, I guess for Halloween, they're doing a whole like spooky board you can unlock, and like they have rack-o'-lanterns that are the racks that fly around in the game, like the bat type things. I think they have like pumpkin heads and whatever, and like
That's hilarious.
They're doing a whole bunch of
companies do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, looks like they're doing a bunch of fun stuff. So that should be fun in what a month. Yeah.
Right. Maybe by then I'll have it.
Yeah. I hope so. It'll be good time.
Good times. Good clean fun.
Yeah. But I appreciate, that, like, I forgot how much that game makes me laugh. Like I fix a thing for, like Marcus has a gun machine, and he's like, hey, how about fixing this? He's like, how else am I supposed to profit or supply freedom hunters like yourself? So, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Good shit. But
good shit, Maynard.
Yeah, and it was funny. Like I realized the other night, they have little like, like how a lot of people on their zippers of their backpacks will put like a little keychain or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, basically, you can have those on your guns and other stuff in this. So on my shotgun, there's this little hanging thing off of it that's like a little skeleton or something like that.
That's awesome.
It was kind of funny, but yeah. It's a little shit like that. That's why I love that game so much, or those games, I should say, whatever.
Right.
So, anyway, how about you? I haven't. That's about it for my week. I really haven't done a whole lot. So,
I mean, it's been a week. Well, I mean, we did go out for your birthday.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You heard it right. We did.
Jesus Christ, Brian.
It doesn't. It feels like so long ago to me.
I mean, it was Monday.
Yeah, a whole week ago.
Yeah. No, it was, I mean, we went to that Stubborn Brothers we've been talking about on the show off and on. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad we did. Me too, yeah. Because the shit was pretty delicious. Yeah. Yeah, I, ordered three pieces of pizza thinking that I was all like, it's just 3 pieces of pizza, and got them, and they were big old, like, New York slices, that you fold over and they're chewy. And, that was good, though. I really liked it. It was very good. Yeah. They had a good beer selection, good pizza. Yeah. The other thing I'd say is the help needs a little more work. The help needs some help, yeah. Yeah, they need some more training. Yeah. Because, they didn't know, like, the beers at least weren't updated, and that lady, our waitress, the bartender, had no clue what was going on when we moved, like down a few stools, and yeah, everyone's orders got all fucked up. Who got the mojito? No one. No, it was a Moscow Mule, not a mojito. That's what it was. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, that was the thing, And then she kind of seemed to not believe us when we were like, "Yeah, we didn't order that extra PBR," and.
It's like, no, listen, lady, like, I can tell you what everyone had to drink, you know, like,
yeah.
Like, why would I lie on a $2 beer? It's like, if I thought I drank it, I'd just pay for it and, you know, be like, whatever.
Well, I mean, I almost just paid my bill, and then I'm like, fuck that. I'm not paying for his extra slice. I'm not paying for his extra beer.
No, and that's a different story, too, because, you know, that's an extra, $6 or so bucks or more that was on your tab. Like, mine was right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was like, silly lady.
Yeah, I know, but whatever.
Yeah.
All in all, it was a good time. Although, later in the week, I picked up Leah from school, had to take her to an appointment, but with time in between.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you want to get some food? She's like, yeah. So I was like, how about pizza? And we went there.
Nice.
And when her and I were there, one of the TVs at the bar was set to their, like, Untapped channel, which had all their beers on it.
See, that's a much better idea.
Yeah, that's what it should be, because they're a verified venue.
Yeah, I thought they were. I thought you mentioned that, yeah.
And then, which I'm going to be here way more often between the hours of 3 and 6, because that's their happy hour.
Uh-huh.
They have, $1 off all drinks, which, you know, that's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Although if we were getting those PBRs, that's $1.50 PBRs or whatever. Or $1 PBRs.
$1 PBRs, yeah.
But they have their, I think they call it like twice baked garlic rolls or something.
Yeah, those things look good. Yeah.
Bro, it's half off for happy hour.
Oh boy.
So we sat down. It was like 10 till 3, and Lee's like, "Oh, hey, what can I get a drink?" And Lee's like, "I'll have a Coke." And I'm like, "I'll take a Locals Light, nice little short beer."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and I think we're both gonna get a slice. So we both ordered our slices, and I'm like, "Can I get some of these 3 o'clock garlic bread things?" Because I saw it on the menu. And she's like, "Well, what time is it?" I'm like, it's like 7 till.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Well, the computer won't let me give you the discount until 3, but at 3 o'clock I'll put the order in."
Oh, okay, right.
I'm like, "Oh, you're amazing, thank you."
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, it was.
Yeah,
like,
I saw an order of those coming up or getting like slid out to like go be delivered right as we were leaving.
Yeah, they're delicious.
And I almost
at happy hour they're like $3.60.
Nice. Well, remember, because I was like, I almost grabbed, like, jokingly, of course. Like, when I told you, I was like, I almost grabbed that plate of garlic rolls on the way out.
Yeah, right. That was some good stuff, though. That pizza was killer.
Yeah. I want to try a sandwich from there, too. Like, the ones I've seen online look really good.
Well, that just means we're going to have to go back sometime.
Yeah, multiple times.
I don't think anybody was sad about it. I mean, T was there, and like Steve and his buddy Tyler shit came out.
Mm-hmm.
And, we all had a time. I was hoping we could hang out a little more, maybe have a smoke, but I think we hung out inside too long.
Yeah, really. Like, that was the thing is, like, if that was going to be the plan, we should have, like, probably, much sooner just been like, hey, we should go do this. Otherwise, we're not going to.
I mean, to be fair, Steve and his buddy were about an hour or so late.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But whatever. We still all had a good time.
Yep. Indeed. Yeah, and all it means is we'll just have to, find out, like, when he's off again and maybe just, rally up again,
Well, I mean, it's funny because actually, oh shit. My seltzer almost just overflowed my cup here.
My seltzer.
Seltzer water. Because yesterday, unfortunately, your body was beating you up.
Yep.
But it was the first Monroe Beer Fest, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone I talked to seemed to feel like that was the first one. So
okay. I haven't heard of one before, but that doesn't necessarily mean there hasn't been one, Yeah,
so. Exactly. But it's like they shut down a section of Front Street downtown.
Right.
And it's, there wasn't many breweries, not loud, because we're used to like balling when we go to Beer Fest. There's probably like 17, 18 breweries.
What I assumed it was going to be was similar to like Festive Ale, like more along that line than anything else.
That's what it felt like, but with way less food.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because Monroe is much bigger than Ferndale.
Was selling pizza.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
They had sort of, and I mean, Festival's got like a lineup of bands.
Yeah.
There was a band playing when we got there, and they were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But then, like, the clouds opened up for about 15 minutes, and it poured, and they packed up and left.
Which you can't blame them for doing, yeah. Did they at least was there any sort of like a sound system throwing music or something or after that?
Not really. Once they left, it was just everyone just bullshitting.
Wow, you think the place would have had a backup plan like that?
A PA system.
Yeah,
or
just put on some Spotify playlist or something, just to have some music going.
But I mean, it was actually kind of a nice little beer fest. You know, T and I got there early to pregame for a beer fest, which is probably stupid, but we were going to get some food and all this stuff, and then we found out that's cash only to get tickets.
Okay.
So I'm like, so I was like, well, how about I'm like, let's go head to this little Irish pub. It's a bar.
Yeah.
They'll have an ATM in there. Every bar has an ATM.
Right.
So we sat down. We both ordered a pint of Two Hearted.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the bartender, "Hey, where's your guys' ATM at?" She's like, "Oh, we don't have one, but if you go out the back door and up the alley and then you take a right, there's literally one on the side of a building."
I like the go out the back door and up an alley, and it's like, two toughs will roll you.
Yeah, exactly. So then T and I are like, well, shit. Do we finish up our pints and then go get money and come back, or do we, wait it out? Because we don't have to walk in at 5.
Yeah.
So we ended up just getting some food and having another couple beers, and actually ended up talking to the guys who own Pavlov's because they came in.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And talked to some dude that they had a beer cooler right behind us, and they had no idea there was a KBS in there. The guy pulled that out. I was like, shit, if I would have known that was in there, I would have been drinking that.
Seriously. That's a nice light way to start. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Not that Two Hearted isn't. Two Hearted is a good, 7.5 or something like that?
Yeah. We both had 2. So.
Yeah. Well, you have to. One for each heart.
One for each heart. Hi-yo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I don't know, it was kind of set up, like you said, like festival. People had tents.
Yeah.
Although a couple brewers didn't, and when it poured.
Oh, that's a bad move. That's a rookie move right there, man.
Yeah. Rookie move.
Ooh, tents aren't that expensive to rent for a day. Even if you didn't buy one, at least go rent one or buy a canopy setup. They're not that expensive too,
Yeah, exactly. But it was actually kind of nice because when it was raining, I'm like, because my nephew and his wife were there too, and a couple of their friends.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, actually, there's a Mexican restaurant in Monroe that was set up right there because it's right on the corner of where the fest was at. So they had a little tent of food. They're like, well, we're going to get some food. And we're like, all right, we're going to grab some beer somewhere. And it just poured.
Yeah.
So I'm like, T, let's hide under the Arbor Brewing tent. And so we got under, and because I already had a couple in me. I was like, hey, ladies, can we hide in this tent with you? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. They're like, you know what? While it's raining this hard, we won't charge you any tokens for the beers.
Nice.
Okay.
Can you just hand me the tap then? What were they actually pouring, or was it out of bottles and cans?
Most of them had kegs. Some of them were pouring.
Okay, well, good. That's at least a positive sign. Because remember, we were all kind
Bell's
of like
there, and it was all bottles and cans. But Bell's also had some of their limited series of stuff that were hard to find there.
Cool.
So.
Cool. Well, it's good to know because, like I said, we were all kind of because we've assumed it was going to be a smallish one, and it's like Toledo, that one downtown. It was that was decent size, but they were almost all pouring from bottles and cans, which isn't all bad. Because there's some that's how it's available.
Right.
But
and I ran into the same thing I ran into when we went to the Toledo one. When I asked people what should I be drinking, they're like, I don't know, I'm a volunteer.
Because they're just volunteers. Fucking A.
A lot of people were from the place, like the Pavlov's guys were there and all that, but a lot of them were just like, I don't know, I'm a volunteer. It's like, God damn it.
Ugh. See, my thing is, I get it if you're a bigger brewery. Well, maybe not even then. But it's I feel like if your name's going to be at the brewery, you should have at least one, air quote, expert there.
Yeah.
Representing. Because I know they can't, they can't be in certain, they can't be behind the table or something because remember, Shannon was telling us that from, when she was with, Cloister.
Oh, Cloister, yeah.
They can't pour or whatever, but you could still stand right out front and talk with people. Just put I'd have a T-shirt that says blah blah brewer,
yeah, exactly. Staff, something.
Beer expert, yeah, whatever. Well, no, you would probably just blend in then, but but yeah, because I'm with you. It's if you walk up and say, hey, what should I drink? Some of the breweries do, Bell's, we know what to drink. Pavlov's, you said the guy was there and whatever. Although I'm following him and stuff, it looks like they've got a couple new beers I'd like to go try. So we may have to go do that soon.
That's fine. That's what I was telling T. I'm like, you got to get there. It's great.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been up there. Well, damn. That's too bad.
I know, right? And I guess they're going to actually be setting up. Well, they're trying to get into Winter Beer Fest in Grand Rapids.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did you tell them to be prepared for brutal?
Yeah, because I was talking to them about it when we were sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, 1 year I was like, people's lines were freezing. It was insane.
Yeah. I mean, it was 4 degrees or something outside.
Yeah, it was like 4 degrees, exactly.
Yeah, it was brutal, and snowing.
Bad, but it was still fun.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I had a blast. Well, like I said, I had way more fun at that one than I did at either of the last 2 summer beer fests I went to where I tried to die. So
yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so it was like, we're all hanging out and like, CJ, my nephew, his buddies showed up and, we're just having some beers and hanging out, having some laughs and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And phone rings. I'm like, who the hell's calling? I figured it was going to be like some unknown number, right?
Yeah.
And it's Steve. And I'm like, hey, buddy, what's up? He's like, hey, what are you up to? I'm like, I'm actually in downtown Monroe at that beer festival. He's like, there's a beer festival in Monroe? I'm like, yeah, I sent you all the information.
The one you told him about on Monday.
Or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what do you owe? He's like, well, I'm on my way home from work, and I just had a Stammer story I wanted to tell you in that weird bar when I go to occasionally.
Right.
And but he's like, well, let me talk to the wife, and maybe I'll join you. Well, he ended up joining us at Beer Fest.
Nice. Oh man, now I'm extra sad.
Yeah, it turned into a nice little evening. He brought cigars and,
Nice.
And it was weird because he showed up. And I'm like, Steve, this is CJ. And then they looked at each other, and CJ looks at me. He's like, you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, he's a good friend of mine. CJ's uncle used to be married to someone in Steve's family.
Oh, funny.
So he's like, they used to be related through marriage.
Oh, funny. Marriage.
And Steve, yeah, how weird is that?
That is pretty weird, yeah.
Yeah, small world.
Well, small
like,
town.
I haven't seen you since you were like 10 or something.
Right, last week, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's still about the same height and everything.
Yeah,
so.
right. It's funny. Like, if you're going to do like those kind of beer fests where they're smaller, I really think they could run 2 of those. Like, they really could run a spring and a fall. Like, I wouldn't fool with summer and winter,
Yeah.
because horrible conditions, but...
Well, talking to some of the people there, it seemed like it was not well planned.
That doesn't shock me. A lot of those, especially smaller areas, like Festivale felt really well planned, but at the same time, planning, all their planning, still couldn't save the dang festival. So
yeah, no, I haven't reached out to them this year to see if it's happening.
Yeah.
It's like my yearly tradition. I just reach out.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was just thinking that, like, as we were talking, I was like, I don't think I've seen them post on Instagram in forever.
I don't recall, to be honest.
Because I followed them ever since. Well, I followed them that night, actually. So
right.
Here we go. Well, yeah. Apparently, I just haven't been paying attention. They're hiring, Tony.
Oh shit, son!
Go get you a job up there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's.
But I mean, you might find this shocking. We dealt with a weird drunk lady.
Really?
Yeah.
I am beyond
Tina
surprised.
are hanging out, and this lady, and she was like, I don't know how old she was, but I kept trying to convince T to go dive into her giant yammers.
Yeah.
Because she walked by. And she was just said something like, all women are crazy. And like T looked at her.
Yeah.
And she was like, see, this guy knows what I'm talking about. He looked right at me. And T's like, what? I did. He's like, yeah, you made eye contact with me. You agree with me, don't you? All women are crazy. And T's like, I don't.
Yeah. T's like, I want to be anywhere else right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So fast forward to like Beer Fest is almost over.
Right.
Of course, we closed it out.
Oh, of course.
Only closed at 9.
I was just going to say, what was it, 9? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Mm. And she walks by again, and she's like, that's the guy that agreed with me that all women are crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
And then she looks at me, And she's like, or was it you?
Like, well, really, both of us, but, it was him mostly.
And I mean, I was a little worried for this lady because at this time we're smoking cigars.
Yeah.
And she had literally the driest hair I've ever seen on a human. It looked like a stack of hay.
Oh, then, man, you gotta be careful with them cigars, then.
Oh, my God, she would have turned into Ghost Rider like that.
I was thinking of the scene in Wizard of Oz where the witch sets the scarecrow on fire.
Yes, accurate.
Or broom or
You're
whatever.
like in science class when the teacher lights up that flash paper.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was nutty. That and, like, Jesus. I love T. Sometimes he's just like his own little world.
Yeah.
Like, I had one last token. There's this place in Ypsilanti. It's called Maniacal Mead.
I've heard of.
Never seen it before.
Heard of the name somewhere.
But I looked at their list. They had like a strawberry daiquiri mead,
God,
caramel marshmallow mead, and then some. I'm like, I want to try one of these. These all sound amazing.
I mean, first off, I'm not a mead person, but also it's like you never know what that stuff like. Like I'd be willing to try them. But it's like my biggest fear would be.
I'm always willing to try it.
My biggest fear would be that they're just too damn sweet.
Usually meads for me are too sweet.
Right.
Yeah.
But whatever, I'd still try it. Yeah.
Yeah. But so, I'm walking up to the guy's booth, and the guy's like, we're out. Sorry, we're out. I'm like, oh, man. And then this dude's buddy comes out. Hey, man, this guy's stuff is great. You should have came here earlier. I've known this guy since before he's, went professional, and he was making it in his basement. Now that it's legal, we can be here. And he's really good. It's so good.
You're like, thanks for the help. Oh wait, I still get no mead.
He's like, sometimes it's like 17% out. It'll get you messed up. It tastes so good.
Jesus.
He just kept going.
Yeah.
And then he's like, let me get you some stickers, which I'm glad he did. Their logo's pretty cool. So he gave me some stickers, and then he's talking to T, Steve, and I, and then I'm looking at my empty cup. Which, by the way, the cups they give you were like little glass mason jars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actual glass. I'm like, this seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God, yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, because when I first grabbed it, I was like, oh, cool, a little plastic mason jar. Oh, no, this is an actual glass.
Oh, my God.
Okay. But
so many reasons. One, it's a weapon. Two, if it gets dropped, then there's broken glass on the ground.
And I was even thinking, it'd be great if they had, little lanyards you could clip to the handle hanging around your neck.
That's actually not a bad go-to move. To get one of those, what do you call them? The carabiners or whatever they're called. Those big metal clips on the end of one and clip it if it has a handle to it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. But whatever. That's besides the point.
Right.
But so this guy's just yammering about how good his friend is at making mead. And I look at my glass, I'm like, oh, man, I got to go get a beer for this last token. Amp's great. Steve's like, oh, I'll come with you. This guy's got tea.
Yeah.
So Steve and I walk away, and Steve's like, hey, do you have T's phone number? I'm like, yeah, of course.
You should have been like, no, weirdly enough, I don't.
I'm like, yeah, of course I do, Steve. Why? He's like, you should call him to help him get out of that. I'm like, oh, you're right.
You're right.
So I grab my phone. I'm calling T. Mm-hmm. T's got a smartwatch, right?
Oh shit, yeah.
So I see his watch light up, and I'm looking at him side eyeing him. Yeah. And he looks at his watch, and he just stares at me. And then so I turn and look at him. I'm kind of doing the head nod.
You're like, come on, run, yeah.
And he's still staring at me. He's got his hand here, what do you? So, I don't know, was it 30 seconds later, I hung up. He walks over, he's like, why were you calling me? I was like, I was trying to rescue you. He didn't get he's like, oh, all right, I'm sorry.
Right. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was something.
Right.
But yeah, so we close that out, and, Steve's like, well, do you guys want to go call it a night, or do you want to walk to one of these shitty bars around here and, have one more?
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, shit, let's go have one more, man.
Obviously, yeah.
You have to.
Mm-hmm.
So we walk in this bar. It looks from the outside, it looks like it's upscale. You walked in, there's jam and country music.
Perfect.
I was like, but they had this beautiful back patio to overlook the river.
Uh-huh.
That was awesome. So we're sitting out there, and there's of course everyone from Beer Fest pouring in here.
Sure, of course, yeah.
And here comes the waitress, and she looks like she's seen some shit.
Yeah.
Very nice lady. Her name is Beth, because she introduced herself like this. Hello, my name is Beth. Please bear with me. Everyone else called off tonight.
Oh, my God. Called off. So wow, dude.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have a job if I owned a bar and you called off on a beer festival weekend because you know why they're calling
Everyone's
off.
come, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that noise.
I mean, so we're like, yeah, no problem. You know, Steve and I got a beer. T was driving. He didn't feel great. He just got a water.
Right. And then a beer.
We're sitting there bullshitting with all the beer fest people because everyone's jolly and merry.
Sure,
We're yelling across the little outdoor bar people. I look over at T, and he's just like he's got forehead sweat.
Uh-oh.
He just did not look good.
Yeah.
I'm like, you all right? He's like, I don't know.
Oof.
I'm like, you need to like go to the facilities or something?
Well, I was going to say, when T gets forehead sweat and you're sitting inside, usually it means one of two things. So,
well, we were outside, but it was pretty cool.
Oh, right,
once that rain came through, it was cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because it was like 90, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, when we got there, it was balls hot. And then that rain came through, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
But, you know, so he's like, yeah, I think, and he kind of got up and he went around because it was like a horseshoe kind of bar, you know?
Yeah.
And he kind of like stumbled a little bit. And Steve and I were looking at each other like, Jesus, is he? And he kind of stopped. And he just kind of like, was catching his breath and shit. And then he kind of walked through the crowd and went inside. And, you know, Steve looked at me. He's like, are you going to have one more? I'm like, no. He's like, I'm done too because I got to work at 4:40.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, why are you here? You know? He's like, well, I got, you know, I'll get your beer. I'm going to go cash this out. So
he was Proxy Brian. That's what he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proxy Brian. Exactly.
It would have been funny if you just called him Proxy Brian all day.
That would have been hilarious.
He fills in so nicely for me. So, you know.
But Steve comes back out and he's like, well, I did a little reconnaissance. I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. He's like, I listened to the bathroom. It didn't sound like anything was going on. But hopefully he's okay in there. And we just bullshit for our 5 minutes and T came outside.
Yeah.
Like, are you all right? And he's like, man. He's like, I don't know if it's because I just had pretzel bites to eat and I've been drinking or it was that cigar. But he's like, I thought I was going to pass out. I'm like, how are you feeling now? He's like, I feel better now. But
yeah.
I'm guessing he might have inhaled a little more of that cigar than he meant to.
That's what I was going to guess, too. Yeah, because cigars are funny like
before.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've had that happen to me
Well,
before,
especially on an empty stomach. You know, you just put all that alcohol in there, and then you inhale that cigar a little too much, and oh, boy. You know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so. Well, what would a beer fest be without someone trying to die? I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have in my notes. T almost dying.
Yeah. Like T, come on. That's Brian's gimmick.
You know, we all parted ways, and we're driving home, and T's like, "Man, I'm hungry." I'm like, "I could eat, T."
Yeah.
There's nothing in Monroe open late, really.
No,
at least the direction we were going.
Yeah.
If you go north, there's like IHOP and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to say there's fast food or something the one way, but the other way there's nothing. Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know. You want to hit like Big Boy when we get back in town? He's like, oh yeah. So that was the game plan until about halfway home, and this guy, that last beer I had, put me in. I was like, passing out, waking up, passing out, waking up. T's like, do you want me to just take you home? Like, yeah, that's probably a great idea.
Do you realize what your decision did? Your decision probably made T eat Taco Bell.
He said he was going to get Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And then you know, when I was like, yeah, we should eat. He's like, all right, because, you know, it's like, he probably knows I don't want Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the last Taco Bell I ate at that Monroe Theater is closed.
Yeah, I know. I forgot I was going to mention that too.
Yeah,
and the bigger part, and I haven't read an update on this, they just poof and closed. Like, they didn't even notify the mall that they were closing.
Well, they just outed, huh?
Yeah, because I don't remember, it's Facebook or Instagram, like the Monroe County News or whatever. Like, I don't follow them, but their stuff pops up from time to time. And I read the article on it, and the guy who manages the mall was like, yeah, we've been trying to get a hold of them, but they haven't returned our calls.
That's so weird.
And they're still under lease. Like, they still have a contract. So they still owe them money.
Weird.
Yeah. And
wow. Makes you feel like there's something else going on.
Well,
there.
I looked to see if there was any sort of like health code violations, and I didn't see anything, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't some issue of some sort. So
maybe they saw me like ordering food there, and they figured the apocalypse was
that's
upon
probably
us.
what it was. They were like, "Oh God, this guy's gonna die because he hasn't had our food in years, and he's not conditioned for it."
Yeah, it's probably the start of the super zombie bug.
Right? Yeah, Tony's patient one, like we all figured was gonna happen.
Yep, exactly.
We just didn't know what would be the catalyst. We just assumed you would be patient zero. So
Tony Co. is the real life Umbrella Corporation.
Yep. The worst umbrella ever.
Worst. Ella.
Damn it, Tony.
But yeah, so it was a nice little beer fest. I should not have had that last beer.
Which,
honestly,
how many times have we said that? Yeah,
exactly. I mean, sure, I started with 2 pints of Two Hearted, whatever.
Like I said, you got to stretch your legs. You got to warm up.
Yeah, But they only give you 10 tokens, and I made all 10 last 4 hours.
Which that's like my move at most of the beer fest. I don't know if you notice that. Most of the time, most of the time I have tokens left when we're done.
Yeah.
Because I've tasted so many beers by then that usually I'm like real excited about the beers until we hit that point where your palate's blown out from just trying too many heavy or whatever beers. And then I'm less enthused about drinking beer because I can't taste it. And it's like, why am I drinking this? I can't taste it,
Accurate.
Unless I'm, like, fucking, I'm going to get drunk. So, which I don't usually do. Most of the beer fests we've been at, I don't tend to get drunk. I usually pace myself pretty well as far as that goes, Right. Usually, I just like to try to die instead,
Yeah, you try to have a heat stroke.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I've had 3 beers. It's time to just keel over.
But, I mean, I was like, I thought I was doing good because, I had the 2 pints over 4 hours. I basically had like 40 ounces of beer. That's not bad over 4 hours.
What size pours were they? Were they like normal beer size pours?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 ounces, something like that.
Beer size pours. Fuck.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Yeah. Beer fest
But I mean,
pours.
that last beer, like I woke up this morning feeling like death.
Oh, gee, there's a surprise.
I know. I actually, because like at the beer fest, I'm like, man, I feel great. That's why I was like, yeah, well, for sure, let's go have another one. You
need some carbs in your belly last night. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference.
I know.
It does.
Believe me.
Actually, for
if
you, it might not because I know.
In his car, I probably would have felt better getting some food in me before I went to bed.
Yeah, I think so too. Although it would have been funny to see if T would have ordered another bowl of cottage cheese.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about driving home is punch bowl of cottage cheese. He was like, man, they normally just give me a little side that night. Got a goddamn cereal bowl.
Fucking don't ask for a bowl, ask for a cup.
Yeah.
A
thimble.
Or whatever. Or a side of cottage cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, even the lady, I still remember the lady, a bowl.
Are you sure? And she's like, well, he's a big boy kind of a thing. I think that was the reason. But...
Yeah, I mean, man, I woke up this morning, my head felt like someone kicked me, like a mule kicked me in the head.
Yeah, probably.
And I kind of like laid there, and I was like trying to like put my arm over my head, do a little compression thing. I was just trying anything, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, all right, let me get up, drink some water, take some aspirin, lay back down. Man, as soon as I got up, did all that, lay back down, I just could not. Yeah. I'm like, I got to get. I was talking to Michelle. I'm like, I got to just get up. I can't lay down. My head hurts.
Yeah.
So we got up. We're in the living room, and I'm like, yep, all that water I drink, about to get sick.
Yep.
Sure enough.
Yep.
But after I turbo booted that water.
Yeah. Felt like $1 million bucks, right?
I felt like $1 million bucks.
Yep. I was like me that time at your house when we ended up going to Nick and Jimmy's after I, one last boot out in the driveway, and then because I had drank so much water when I woke up, and just that's why I was like, oh God, I'm gonna get sick. And then you guys are all breakfast, and I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna get sick. And then I did, and I was like, hey, let's get breakfast. Except I was like,
amazing once you get that poison out, you feel a little bit better.
Well, it was funny though, because remember I was like, I don't think I'm gonna eat anything, or maybe I'll get some toast or something, and then. You had sausage left, and Jeannie had some food left, I think, and I was like, you know what, garbage compactor right here.
Yeah.
So then I did. I felt like $1 million bucks after
this morning to a place I'd never been before.
Yeah.
And they ironically had a dish on their menu called the Hangover.
Ah.
I was like, well, clearly I got to order this.
Yeah.
And it was delightful. It was like sausage, gravy, and biscuits. Then it was like scrambled eggs, cheese, and bacon on top.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's pretty close to what I would normally get after. I mean, ideally, because it's usually like, give me the big greasy platter that you have. That's what I want when I'm hungover.
Yeah.
The farmer's breakfast, because when your stomach's feeling a little iffy, the best thing to do is put all the fried foods and meats in there.
Oh, for sure, the best thing.
And eggs. And eggs, yeah.
I mean, we T and I were talking, like, if our house supported late night eats again, that's where we would have went.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, the great spot to
that would have been the move. Yeah.
Get some banging foods in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because in my sleep.
Most of the places don't fucking stay open late that have breakfast like that anymore.
I know.
Except for like, IHOP and Waffle House, and it's like, Waffle House, but there's no close Waffle House. So
no, if there was a Waffle House in between here and Monroe, I would have been like, yeah, for sure, I need to get a, shredded, dumped, stabbed, methed up waffle, whatever the hell they call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whatever they call their potatoes. I know you order them in a weird way.
Yeah, I think you've pretty much got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the meth that makes them so good.
Speaking of meth, so like we're driving the other day, because it's been the past couple of days been like super warm, so we're just in the Jeep,
Oddly enough, I got to point out to everybody, this is the second time this week that we've been talking, and you've gone, speaking of meth.
Yeah, fair enough. But we were down by the strip club district of Toledo.
Hot, yeah.
Alexis and Telegraph.
Yeah, I was going to say right in my neighborhood.
Yeah, your hood.
Yeah.
And, that Valvoline instant oil change?
Yeah. Oh, wait. No,
right.
Yeah, that's a legit business. Yeah.
So all the employees were, like, crouched next to a pickup truck in the parking lot in the shadow, like, smoking and stuff, because there's no one's getting their oil change right now.
Right.
And there's this little, like, Dodge Neon or something next to us. And there's a little old guy with tattoos driving, and next to him is some slightly younger guy with tattoos, and he just starts yelling out the window at the employees, "Why the fuck you waving at me? What the fuck you waving at?"
Wow.
It's like, what is wrong with people, man?
Right? Like,
nothing would have made me happier if one of those wrench swingers would have came out and just roundhoused him.
Now, what's funny is you start saying that, and it reminds me of when I'm driving around in GTA, and you drive by like one of the biker hangouts, and they're all like out front of the place, like smoking. And when I go by, I obnoxiously honk to get them to try to start shooting at me.
That's pretty funny.
So I think that's kind of what that was. It was that come to life,
I was just waiting for something. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Just mind your goddamn business.
Listen, it's funny you mention that, because I had an old man rant I wanted to do this one.
Old man ranted up.
Yeah, and, this is one I've kind of had before, because it just won't go away. But I just want to keep ranting about it in hopes that people that listen will tell other people or just enact the change themselves, whatever.
Right.
Which, first of all, if you're going to be in a public setting, turn the fucking keyboard sounds off of your phone, please.
Oh, that's the worst.
Now, I will say this. So yes. My mom had a doctor's appointment last week, and it was with a new doctor, so she asked me if I'd go with her.
A nude doctor?
Yes, a nude doctor.
What office is this?
Yeah, it was pretty hot. No. No, it's just, it was, like a neurologist. And in the past, she's gone to some neurology appointments, and they've done, like, tests or some sort on her and really aggravated, like, her vertigo. So,
right.
Not that I could do a whole lot because I can't drive her home. I mean, I could, but it's not going to end well, probably. Maybe.
I guess you could get, like, an Uber or something.
Well, given where we were, I'd just call my brother because it was... sorry to go local on everybody, but it was over on Woodley, right off of Sylvania. Okay. Yeah. So, anyway, so she goes in, and I'm just sitting in the waiting room. And oddly enough, it was a waiting room. Dude, they had amazing air conditioning in there. So I was like, nice,
Naturally.
But
as you do.
Right. But I noticed it starts, like, kind of filling up. So before she goes back, I was like, hey, leave the car keys with me, because if it gets crazy, like, full in here, I'm going to just go. Because it's also a pain management place, so it's like, clearly I'm not going to make somebody stand, like an asshole. So I was like, but, dude, she no more goes in, and this waiting room, like, it was sort of full, and then they take a few people back, as they do. And then this woman comes in on with a walker, and she sits down. Like, I'm sitting kind of in the middle of the waiting room, which I don't normally do. Usually I sit on one end or the other because of my anxiety, I don't like to feel boxed in and stuff, right?
That's fair.
So, of course, because I sit in the middle, this woman sits just to my right, so her friend that's with her sits immediately to my right. I mean, literally, like, right next to me. Like, I could have put my arm around her.
Well, of course.
And I did. I pulled the old yawn move,
Classic maneuver.
Grab a little titty, as one does. No, I certainly didn't.
Maybe pinch some ass.
No. I did not want my hands on this. Anyway, so then someone else comes in and sits directly to my left. And I'm like, there's it's the equivalent of being in a stall in the bathroom and someone has to immediately flank you,
which I never understand.
It's like, dude, there's like two more. Can you just move down? You know the rules. You go every other until you can't do that anymore. Then you fill the gaps or you use the toilet or the sink or the trash can or something. Yeah. Anyway,
respect the buffer zone.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, because it's not that bad, but at the same time, the woman directly to my... Now, granted, I'm also doing something that I've not done much of recently, which was I pulled a book up on my phone and I'm sitting there reading because I started reading the book Everybody Lies, which is a really interesting read so far.
Right.
It's a guy who
used... the one by... Malcolm Gladwell?
No.
Not Malcolm Gladwell.
No, it's a guy who used to work for Google in their analytics, and he's basically using Google searches to predict things or to where, because basically nobody lies to Google, but they lie to everybody else. People lie to their doctors, their spouses, everything else. You hide things, but when you get home to that.
I mean, that's pretty interesting.
That freedom of Google, people type the worst things. Like, he goes over some really racially insensitive stuff about, like, when Obama was elected and whatnot, and it's like, wow.
Oh, I bet.
So, anyway, I'm reading this, and just, burning through this book pretty good. And then these people come in, and, of course, this woman that's directly to my right is chat. There is no shut up, to the point that her friend is being called into the back. As the woman is walking away trying to go into there, the woman is still talking to her, like trying to finish her story.
Right.
And, dude, and then the woman's gone, and this woman is sitting there, and she pulls her phone out, and I'm thinking, okay, cool, whatever, now she'll shut up, basically. Oh, no, she's a read out loud kind of person.
The fuck up.
No, she starts reading her...
Is she reading news articles out loud or
she's reading
herself?
She started by reading a couple texts, basically, to herself, and then she was playing some game, and she's discussing her moves out loud before doing them on, like, I don't know, some match 3 game, And I'm trying my best to read.
Like so she's playing Bejeweled, and she'd be like, blue to thread to make a can, whatever.
Yeah, because she'll be like, well, she'll be like, do I want to use the blue, or do I want to make the red move, or... And I'm just like, lady, shut up. Like, no one else in here cares.
But don't you have an internal dialogue?
Clearly not. And, like, the funny part is she was super nice. It's just, I think she's so outgoing, there is just literally no internal dialogue. Like, it's all out there, But,
oh my God, people like that. I don't know. I would be real hard pressed not to, like, spin kick the phone into her face.
It's funny, though, because it really didn't bother me. Like, I was still able to read and all this. Well, this other woman comes in and sits down, and she starts digging in her purse for snacks. And, dude,
I'm starving.
I mean, yeah, but... I'm not trying to make fun of the woman. It's just she was digging around in her purse for snacks, and she gets them. And, dude, she's one of those that, how, like, when you're trying to open a bag of chips and be quiet about it, it's the loudest it will ever be?
Oh, yeah, accurate.
So that's basically what it was. And every time she went to reach into the bag, it was... I'd swear there was only one chip in that bag, and she could just never get it. Like, that's how loud and obnoxious it was. Now,
she's probably trying to grab it with that hoof. That isn't going to come over well.
Dude. But oddly enough, I expected her to also be like a loud chewer and everything. Nope. Quietest chewer ever. But just noisy as shit trying to get into that bag. And it's funny because of how it was one of those times where I have to really... my misophonia, I really had to kind of fight with it because... well, not one of the times, every time, but I had to fight with it because just that constant crinkling of the bag, and I'm just like, open the fucking bag, like in my head. But again, I know that's a me problem. You know, like nobody else seemed irritated by it. It was just me that wanted to, like, you know, front kick her in the face. You know, like
exactly.
But yeah, and the woman next to me, she finally quiets down, and then this other woman comes in with a baby, and then this woman to my right starts, like, talking across the room. She didn't move over closer to talk to the woman. She had to talk from where she was across the room to this woman's baby. And, you know, and I'm just sitting there, and it's just, like, to me, it's more funny than it was anything. But I will say this. I actually, while sitting in that room, read 90 pages of that book.
Oh, nice.
So even with and I could tell you stuff from it. So I have retention of it. It wasn't just that, you know, sometimes you read and you're just like, what the hell did I just read? Like,
oh yeah, that's one of my hard times with reading. Like,
me too.
In my old age, is I'm just like I'm sitting there and my eyes are scrolling across the words, but they're not sinking in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
I honestly, with everything you explained that happened in that waiting room,
yeah.
I'm not sure I could have read.
That's the thing. I was surprised I was able to continue. Because at one point I was kind of like, well, if it's going to be this noisy, maybe I'll just go out in the car and read, you know?
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay in here because just in case my mom needs me or something, you know? But the worst part actually was, like, that room filled up so fast. And, I mean, it was, like, full, and then it was, like, 3/4 empty again, and then full.
Wow.
Yeah, because it wasn't just the doctor my mom was seeing, but there was, like, some others that, like, massage and whatnot there. Like I said, it's a pain management place as well as a doctor, so.
Full service massage?
Yeah. No, otherwise I wouldn't have sat in the waiting room like a chump. I mean,
yeah, too, exactly.
Like, do you have the sensualist of massages here?
Now,
if so,
see Kiki?
I would like 2 of them.
Yeah. 2 Kikis?
Yes.
Kiki?
No, I saw the massage.
Like
I saw the massage therapist, and I'm all right.
Yeah.
Looked like a guy that just probably had the softest hands ever. So, like, if you're gonna give me a massage, I want someone that's gonna basically, like, erode some of the bone because of the pressure they're putting on it.
Yeah, they gotta be able to get in there deep.
Yeah. So.
You know, it's the only way to really have a appropriate.
Yeah.
massage.
But the old man rant part of this is, first of all, the keyboard thing, because that woman next to me had her keyboard on at first. However, in her defense, she turned it off. Because I think she realized how obnoxious it was after a couple minutes. Because she's all clack, 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 clack. And then I think she was probably like, yeah, I think she was like, oh shit. And then she turned it off. Which, I'm not going to lie, dude. If she wouldn't have turned it off, I would have had to have left. Because I can't handle that. It's so,
yeah,
like I said, why does that even exist anymore? Why don't the phone companies just take that out? Everyone just about turns that off.
Yeah, I haven't had that on since I first got an iPhone.
Same here. First thing I did when I got my new phone was turn that off.
Yeah, I hate the keyboard sound effects.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know why, it's even an option anymore.
Right. I mean, if they could make different keyboard sound effects, maybe. Like if it sounded like, I don't know,
farts?
Something soothing.
Yeah.
Like the screaming of children.
Right. Oh my God. Speaking of screaming, no, I'm kidding. I forgot. I have one other thing from the week to talk about here. Yeah. So I posted this on pretty much all my social media, but I want to tell it on here too, which was I went into Target the other day and I was walking down. I went to get mouthwash, and I'm walking down like the back of the aisles, like where they have like clearance stuff,
Oh yeah, right.
And I'm down by like the health and beauty area, and down by the food area, there's a woman and 2 kids, and the kids are just being kids, not doing anything egregious or anything. But then I see the one reach over and he taps the mom, and she turns and looks at him, and he rips the nastiest, like the loudest fart. And then he just looks at her and he bows. Like puts his hands together in front of him and just bows. Dude, I cracked up. And the mom just looked at me and was kind of like, what are you going to do? Like, there's not much you can do in that situation but just laugh, I guess. She was kind of
bow back out of respect.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, he dominated that fight. It wasn't even close.
Absolutely.
But I just laugh so, like, because whatever his name was, she proclaimed his name kind of like like Billy, like. But then she started laughing because he bowed. I think he knew. He knew. He's like, I just passed my test. Give me my brown belt.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a brown belt in his shorts probably now.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
Yep.
Maybe he's the chosen one. He's the avatar.
Yeah. I feel he's the savior of the human race, probably.
Probably.
Because that kind of social commentary is what the world needs right now.
Agreed.
Like, send him to New York. He's an artist,
Man.
The young Banksy, if you will.
Yeah.
Man. So, yeah, that's what I got. So.
Week-wise, that's about what I got, too. But, I do have some stuff.
Well, here's the thing.
What?
I have another podcast I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Oh, how much? When are you supposed to be on?
Yeah, half an hour ago.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. Brian.
So, if you're cool with it, maybe we'll just kind of, maybe do a Dude Mountain recap real quick and then skedaddle and.
Yeah, I'll save these for another time because there's one of them we for sure have to talk about, but it can wait.
Okay. If it can wait. If it can't, then that's another story.
But... Oh, it can wait. It can wait.
All right.
It's not like time sensitive, but it's something we definitely need to talk about.
All right. Fair enough. We will definitely, mark that down for, to start
it's my
next time with.
In the notes. All right, but let's hit up this Dude Mountain stuff, bro.
Right.
Dude Mountain.
Yep.
All right. So, as you all know, Dude Mountain is our fantasy pick'em league. If you want to join, hit us up on all of our socials. You can still join. You'll be way behind, but we all basically suck in this league anyway. So
that's accurate. Yeah.
I'm just saying. So let's go with the aptly named Salty Bottoms, Brian.
Yeah.
Because they are in the bottom of Dude Mountain.
Well, sometimes people like to just have a nice leisurely swim,
They are. It's a nice leisurely backstroke through all the manly broth of the Dude Mountain. Coming in at 10th, you got Ditz and Dan Show, which I still think they should change their name to the Ditz and Dan Show. Tied for 8, you got Hard Passes, which is one of your teams. Stuart.
That's my actual picks. Yeah,
your actual team, and then you have Jack Comey Rise 1.
Yeah.
Mike Oxamal is 7th. Super Mascot Fight is in 6th. And then you got the D-Gens from up north, which is myself.
Mm-hmm.
Madden 16 and the Sexy Skeletors are all tied for 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Underdogs is 2nd place, and then in the number 1 slot is Dr. Feelgood.
What's his lead now?
He is about 8 points ahead of the 2nd place.
Wow. Damn.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the percentages.
Oh, okay.
Retarded, guys. He's 2 points ahead of
me. Oh, okay. Place. So, all right. Because I was wondering if he grew his lead or if it... Because, the way these leagues run, they tend to ebb and flow, so...
Yeah, it's true. It's like, it's like my bowels.
Yeah. Yep. Nothing but water. Hard dumps or it's raining. Yep. I hear you.
For sure.
Yeah. That's what getting old gets you,
Yep, exactly.
Yep. No longer daily constitutionals.
Rain or shine.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's your what, week 3.
Yeah.
Dude Mountain update.
Yep. All right.
So we'll do.
Mountain, 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 mountain.
I guess we should talk about one more thing before you skedaddle real quick, Brian.
Okay.
Because this is the week of the Area 51 raid.
Oh, yeah.
They can't stop us all 40 of us.
Yeah. All I was hoping for was that people would start to rush the area and they would just unleash, like, a bunch of hungry wildlife.
Yes.
And they would just become very well-fed wildlife.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let nature, do what it does.
I mean, so if just from the quick, scanning of this, the 40 people were dispersed earlier in the week. 2 Dutch idiots were arrested for trespassing.
Good.
And, I mean, other than that, the event sparked 2 music festivals, Alien Stock and Storm Area 51 Base Camp, which are going to be happening.
Okay.
But, I mean, as expected, I honestly thought more than 40 people would show
Me too.
up because the internet's full of idiots.
I figured a few hundred would show up. That was where I figured. Yeah.
But, I mean, whatever. I guess... I guess I give credit to the people that actually went out there just to probably just party a little bit.
Yeah.
And get dispersed by law enforcement.
Yeah. All it was just one sheriff out there with a broom. Go and get!
Go on!
Scat! And just slapping the broom on the ground.
Exactly.
Well, good. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy it turned out the way it did because I really thought there was going to be some dummies that would really try to push this and get shot or something,
Yeah, I know, right?
And though they would deserve what they get, it was like, you just always hope people will be smarter, and I had no faith in that.
Although the one thing I will say that was the most hilarious was when, I think it was the day before or the day it was happening, when the news is out there and some idiot Naruto ran behind him.
Yeah. See, and you can tell he's clearly terrible at it because we could see him.
Yes.
If he was really good at Naruto running, we would have never been able to see him. Because if we can see him...
there's a bunch of other ones that we didn't see.
That's possible. Because I was going to say, if we can see him, a sniper could see him. So
Exactly. Accurate.
You just see him serpentining in Naruto running, and next thing he just falls over.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Just a nice, red mist. He crumples to the ground.
Yeah. You just hear some asshole, which would then, of course, invoke memes of, boom headshot and all that kind of fun.
Of course.
So,
yeah,
well, good. Because I was actually going to look into that because I was like, there's all this other shit that people could be out there, like, putting this energy into to try to enact change in, but good, only 40 of you showed up, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Hope they had a time. I'm sure 99% of them were probably stoned off their ass. So.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure there was some sort of, weird foil tent that someone got a handy in. And,
at least one, yeah.
Yeah.
At least. So.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Well, all right. Well, you got to go do your other podcast. Let's wrap this shit up quick.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. If you were into a longer session of Tony and I, then subscribe to our page. No, go to our OnlyFans site.
I'm sure all of our listeners are thinking this.
Yeah, could be.
Probably.
That's all right. Listen, Tony will issue you all a full refund for the price you paid for this episode.
Yes. Just make sure you email saltylanguage.com. Put in coupon code show 2 shorts. You'll get a full refund.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Well, with that, head over to saltylanguage.com. Check all the things and whatevers and links and networks we're part of, like Tangent Bound Network and
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment. And, well, maybe click the link, go buy a t-shirt, Like, the guys get shirts,
It's true.
The guys get shirts. Don't make a fucking maniac out of me. The guys get shirts.
He's right.
Maybe a little dramatic, but he's right,
Yeah.
So I'll allow it.
Don't make a fucking maniac out of me, man.
Just guys get shirts. That's not asking too much.
Easy. It's easy.
So there you go. If you still do want to join Dude Mountain, email us at saltylanguage@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at salty_language. If you want to reach out to me on Twitter, I'm at Stunami.
You can find me at Monotony on Twitter. And, of course, we're on Snapchat if anyone decides to pop into that or so often. But we're really on Instagram. We're everywhere. Just go to the goddamn saltylanguage.com. It is the hub.
Yep.
The hub.
That's
of all things sensual and salty.
I mean, you're not wrong. So
Not wrong.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, hopefully you enjoyed this, abbreviated edition of Salty Lang. And
nice.
Not really. It was terrible. All right. Well, we will talk to you next week. So until then, have a beer. You'll be fine. Don't have that last beer, though.
That's what I was probably saying. That last beer will fuck you up. But for sure, stay salty.
And I don't know. I got nothing to end with here. But usually I think about it along the way, and I kind of didn't this time.
I mean, I got nothing for you either. Maybe we collectively have nothing.
Yeah, I think that's just it. We have nothing.
Yeah, fair enough.